Yo, Aaron! Is something wrong? Asked Dr. Walter Dickerson. He had become silent for several seconds as he watched the woman clad in only a bra and scrub pants. He had been so taken with her appearance, her incredible body, flat abs, lifted breasts, bronze skin, and sleek hair, that he'd missed her initial response to the news broadcast. Is that Dr. Vadaraj? He asked. He's been kidnapped. The strangled words hung in the air like a dangling noose waiting for its next victim. Murari's missing, taken from a luxury hotel weeks ago. She repeated the words in a now flat, emotionless tone. Aaron ignored the calm concern of the man in the room. Dr. Walter Dickerson was no longer apparent to her. It was as though he wasn't even there. He was invisible, non-existent. Her senses were slowing down while her mind raced. He'd been taken captive? By whom? Why hadn't she been told? How could this have happened and been kept a secret for so long? Did the hospital know? Aaron's continuous flow of questions attacked both her mind and body. It was as though a disease, malignant pathogen, had invaded her system and was wreaking havoc at will. Its cancerous cells growing, mutating, until all that remained was a dangerous, unwanted mass. Where was he? The torturous question rang out, and it rang through her head as loudly as a 5-alarm fire. Its volume and intensity seemed to course up and down the neuronal pathway leading to and from her brain. It appeared to strum her very spinal cord. Was he alive? Breathing? What if she never saw him again? The thought was unbearable, inconceivable. She tried to process the pain. He had to be alive. He couldn't leave her on this earth all alone. He couldn't abandon her twice in one lifetime. He couldn't be that cruel. The tears had to come. They had nowhere else to go. She had no other way of fighting the pain she felt. The wet, salty trickles of tears left the corners of her eyes in droplets. Clear, translucent streams of anguish ran the course of her face. How could she still have feelings for the man? He wasn't even hers, not anymore. Not since he'd chosen another woman to be his wife. Why did she still care so much? The tugging of the telephone cord prevented Aaron from moving even closer to the television. Its resistance caused her to stare blankly at the phone receiver in her hand. The stark black color of the telephone brought the surgeon back to the reality of her situation. She was still on duty. She was still a doctor who needed to help the surviving victims of the elevated train derailment. She still needed to talk with the doctor she had been ignoring for the past several minutes. With eyes focused on the television, Aaron raised the receiver to her ear and spoke. I'm sorry, Dr. Coleman. What were you saying? She asked in a shaken voice. I didn't hear you. Aaron listened as the head of the emergency room department repeated himself. She paid attention to his words as her eyes followed the news coverage across the room. She heard Dr. Coleman inform her that she should go home, get rest, that she had proven herself tonight in this crisis. He further stated that it had been an honor to work with such a trained, skillful clinician as herself. She listened, but absorbed little of the compliment. The praise was lost to her as she mumbled a response and hung up the receiver. She walked slowly towards the television and tried to piece together what had happened to Murari Varadaraj.